Day 12 of the 40-Day Soul Fast by Dr. Cindy Trims. Today's chapter focuses on the power of restoring. She says here, what you believe to be true in the depth of your soul is played out in your mind and translated through your will and made evident by your emotions. And then she goes on to say, furthermore, the pain inflicted by others must get metabolized, or things like envy, bitterness, and unforgiveness will penetrate and poison your soul, leading to disease. And in this statement, I feel like she's just stressing on the point of having to process your emotions, right? Taking captive of your thoughts, things that devalue your thought life when you allow envy, bitterness, and unforgiveness fester in your heart, maybe towards a person or towards a situation. It doesn't typically end there. Most times what actually happens is when new people come into your life, you still treat them according to how you feel on the inside, and you start projecting old pain on new people or new experiences that may come your way. I've actually seen studies that shows that things like anxiety, unforgiveness, bitterness, anger actually manifest itself as physical pain and actual sicknesses in our body. In my adulthood, one thing I realized is how much of my innocence I lost growing up, especially as someone who grew up too quick, right? I realized, oh my God, like I actually lost my innocence at a very young age. And when I talk about innocence, I'm talking about like the things that would make me to be childlike. And I had to pray to God to actually restore my innocence, to restore my childlikeness. When it comes to restoration really is about returning what was once lost. It could be part of your character. Maybe you used to be kind, right? But because of life experiences, it turned you to become a bitter and a wicked person. You can't stay there. You need to ask God to help you restore that character of kindness, because being in a bitter state will not take you anywhere. And she goes on to talk about the power of simplicity, and this is simplicity before God. She says here, there is no more nourishing and detoxifying soul food than love. And I feel like what she's just saying here is for us to return to our natural state. It's easier said than done, calling us to love ourselves, to love people and love God. I brought to mind two scriptures right now. One that says, love your neighbor as you love thyself. And the second one that also says, love thy God with all your heart, your mind, and your strength, right? So she's saying that we cultivate and nourish our soul in this arena when we do the simple things by just loving people, by loving ourselves, by loving God. And she's calling us as well to be authentic with God, to be ourselves before God. There's no need to act out and, be super righteous before the one and holy. In his word, he does talk about how our own righteousness are like filthy rags before him. So it's so important for us to be ourselves before the Lord. Why sometimes I'm always like batting an eye when I see comments about people who, yes, they may confess the faith. Their outward expressions might not be reflecting how God has called us to live. But I would rather pick these people over the people who act righteous on the outside, but on the inside, they're actually wicked and very much more sinful. So she said to keep it simple, make sure you walk in love. This is how you will uncover your authentic self, created in the image of love. And when you really are embracing love, I think I talked about this in one of my previous videos, you would typically embrace both your strengths and your weaknesses, knowing that the only person who can make up for your weaknesses is the Lord Jesus Christ. She leaves us with this last quote here by Albert Einstein saying, true religion is real living with all one's soul, with all one's goodness and righteousness. Thank you for tuning in to day 12, and I will see you in day 13.